All right, Coach, congratulations on the win. Hard-fought 68-66 win over San Diego today. What are some thoughts after today's win?
Again, I just sound like a broken record after these last few games, but I'm just super proud of our team's effort again. We played two games on the road, Portland and St. Mary's, that required us to really dig deep and, find a lot of energy, expend a lot of energy and come up with wins. And, they did the same thing today. Yeah, and I thought San Diego came out and, for whatever reason, they played pretty inspired against us the last two times. And, I thought, we kind of got down and we looked a little tired. We looked a little, like we might not have it. And, our kids are just really, really, really resilient and very competitive and kind of kept punching our way back in and punching our way back in. And then, kids make big shots. Freya made a big three. Jazz made a big three. Cammie made a big three. Deb was scored all night long. Lou found people open. And then, Freya gets her nose broke and then, comes in and drives the rim and makes the winning layup. So it was fun game.
You mentioned that team got down a little bit in that first quarter, double digits early. What was said in the huddle, a couple timeouts in order to get things rolling?
Just you gotta, figure out how much we're willing to put in to this endeavor today. They're a little fatigued, and we talked about at halftime. You have an opportunity to go out, and we kind of had closed the lead to 2 at that point. Have got opportunity to go out but it's going to require you to put yourself in an uncomfortable place. You're going to get fatigued. You're going to have to, take an extra couple steps. You're going to have to dig in and find a way to get a stop, get a rebound, whatever it is, and it's the extent to which we're willing to do that. In the second half, I told them it was going to determine, pretty much the outcome. And, they took that challenge and, found a way to win.
Deborah, another masterclass, 25 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, 2 blocks. She was just doing everything all night long. What can you say about her performance especially the last 3 games here? There, she's just absolutely dominating.
Yeah, Deb was a stud. She's a tough matchup inside, and she's done, I thought, in these last few games a really good job of taking her time and finishing, going to the rim, not taking so many fadeaway shots, being able to pivot through a defender or pivot through a second defender and recognize when she has 2 on her and find open players. I thought she made a couple of really nice passes to Lou, cutting to the basket. And but just credit to Deb, I think, playing with some confidence. Her family's here, and I know it's been a great opportunity for them to see her play and just kind of see the person that she is and why her teammates love her so much.
Freya came up big late in the game, hitting a 3-pointer to go up by 1 and then hitting the game winner on a layup with under 8 seconds left. Was there specific plays drawn up for her, knowing she could make those shots?
The 3 was just a great kick out, a great find in the corner, I think, by Deb again. And she's got her feet set, knocked it down. She had knocked down a couple earlier in the game before she got her nose hit. And then I think that was the first one she made after the injury. And then, after they hit the 3-pointer to tie it, we called the timeout, and that was kind of what we drew up. We wanted to get somebody going downhill to the basket, and thought Freya had a nice opportunity there to get to the rim, and she did, got to the rim and finished.
Before all that, Luana hits 2 free throws to put you guys up 3, and then San Diego comes down and ties it with a 3. In that moment, knowing that San Diego just continues just to hit shots, what is said in that moment to the team to keep their confidence up?
We obviously wanted to get the stop, but it's not the worst case scenario. They tied the game. We still had a timeout left. We had 15 seconds on the clock. There's a lot of game left to be played. So, we just kind of move on. We talk about that a lot. Just stay in the moment. And, the moment required us to be really focused on, all right, what's next? It's a 0-0 game. How are we going to, we have 15 seconds to get a score to win it, basically. So everybody kind of, understand what we're doing, what we're drawing up, and give ourselves the best chance to close out the game the way we want.
This team was 4-9 ahead of non-conference schedule. It pulled out 10 wins in conference play. Before the season, this team was picked to finish 7th in the WCC and ended up at least with a share of 3rd. what's the evaluation of this team at this point of the year, knowing that there's been a lot of improvement since conference play?
I mean, I think we always seem to be picked in the lower half of the conference. In the last 4 years, I think we finished in third or fourth place. So I think the kids use that every year as kind of motivation. But for me, this has been one of the most enjoyable seasons of coaching that I've had. I really I relate a lot to these players because I think they're extraordinarily competitive. I think they have great relationships with each other on and off the court. I think they value their time together. They're very focused and just like super resilient, find ways to get things done. So, I'm very, very proud of them and how far we've come. I think we found our identity here during the conference season. And, it's one of those teams where, there's some teams where it's, you're ready for the season to be over with and kind of everybody's tired of each other. And, this isn't necessarily one of those teams. This is a team that you'd like to be able to continue to play with for as long as you can.
Team is off to Vegas next week. At least the 3 or the 4 seed, depending on how the Portland LMU game turns out. Obviously, we don't know what opponent yet, but what is the expectation heading into the quarterfinals at the WCC tournament?
Well, we get some rest, which will be good because we have such a short bench that we're using right now. So, and then it starts a new season. We had 2 really tough games these last 2 games against teams that are finishing below us. So we understand that anybody's capable of beating anybody as we go into the tournament. And in some ways, I think that first game is the hardest game. You've been off for a little while, and the team you're playing has had an opportunity to get up and down the court and play again. And so we're gonna need to, just as we do before every game, remind ourselves of who we are and who we need to be in order to be successful. And hopefully we'll be able to use that to sustain ourselves.